up, y'all? How you doing? Happy Monday morning to you. Happy Monday. We are in June. We are in the second Monday of June. I'm so doggone glad that you are here with me for the Monday morning Get Up and Go. My name is Robert Kennedy III, RK3, that's me, and welcome to the Monday Morning Show, where we give you a little bit of elevation, motivation, and inspiration designed, 15 minutes, designed to get you pumping and rocking and rolling through this week. Are you ready? I don't know if you're ready. If you're ready, go ahead and type ready in the chat. Hashtag ready. Come on, somebody do that. I want to see you ready. Okay, there we go. Ready. I see you. Thank you. All right, listen, we're going to be rocking it and rolling through this day. And I've got something fantastic. I've got a great quote today because it came from this great book that I read several years ago, and I know that it's going to make a difference for you. So listen up really quickly. Before we get moving, do me two favors. Number one, if you have been listening to this show previously and you found value in it, go ahead and share that out with somebody. Do me a favor. If you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, if you are on Instagram, wherever you are, go ahead and share the Monday Morning Get Up with somebody, because they might need that message this morning. I don't know if you have seen my inbox. You probably haven't, but I've received so many messages or comments from people saying, oh my gosh, I needed that message today. So make sure that you're not selfish with it, that you share it with somebody. So go ahead and do that thing and share it on out now. What's the second thing? The second thing that you can do for me is, if you have something that resonates with you today, as you hear this message, I want you to comment, and then I want you to share the show. Just type hashtag MMGU, M as in Mary, M as in Mary, G as in Greg, U as in umbrella. I'm just making up those things. All right. Share that out with somebody so that somebody else can get the motivation, the inspiration, and the elevation this morning. So what are we going to talk about? Oh, I almost forgot one more thing. Make sure that you text me right here. Boom. Text me. Go ahead and text me. And let's, text me so that you can know when I'm going live. 410-936-4049, 410-936-4049. All right, so let's do this thing. What is our quote for the day? Our quote from the day comes from, boom, Angela Duckworth. Enthusiasm is common, endurance is rare. Enthusiasm is common, endurance is rare. Now, Angela Duckworth wrote this book called Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance. And if you have not read it, go ahead and click the link in my caption above. Go check that book out, because it's really a study about how some things really make the difference, right? A lot of us feel like talent is what makes the difference, but talent kind of gets you to the table, but talent isn't what causes you to win the race, right? That doesn't really push you over that finish line. It makes the practice a little bit easier, but you got to have some other stuff. So let's talk about that for a second. We're right in the middle of basketball playoffs right now. And let's not use basketball. Let's use another sport. I'm a big baseball fan. I'm a huge Yankees fan, right? And I have been blessed, I would say, as a fan over the last couple of decades, because even when they haven't won the World Series, the Yankees have been a team that have been in the playoffs, or they have won pretty regularly. But it wasn't always that way. When I was a kid, they stunk. Right? The Yankees were not a good team. I remember there were players that were on the team that were good. I remember the years when Don Mattingly was there when I was a kid, and Dave Winfield. And then they had years where they didn't have any of those people, and the Yankees just were terrible. Now let's go back to basketball for a second. People refer to Lebron James as the GOAT, right? The greatest of all time. And I've got to admit, in my lifetime, he has been the player that has been to finals after finals. I mean, no matter what team he was with, he went to the finals with Miami, and then he went back to the finals with Cleveland when he was there, and then he went back to the finals with LA, right? And so, I mean, think about 8 or 9 years in a row, no matter which team you're with, you are in the finals, and fans of the team get used to that, right? And you can imagine that the players that are on those teams get used to that. And LeBron, as a star player, may get used to that. And the news media really covers those players, and they lift them up as the icons. They lift them up as the people that you should look at and follow and embrace and affirm, right? But here's the thing. Winning is easy. Having a great attitude when you're winning is easy. But here's the question. How do you handle losing? How do you handle losing? I can only imagine being on a team that is not that great and being a leader on that team and the grind that it must take to lose day after day after day. And then still having to show up with the attitude that today's the day that I'm going to win. Today's the day that we turn it all around. Today's the day that is going to make the difference. I don't know if you are in business or if you're in the corporate space or what your career is like, but each of us have gone through moments where you've had low times. You've had moments where things have been going super well. You got the job you wanted, you got the promotion you wanted, you were earning the money you wanted, and then you had times where you're like, I don't want to do this. I'm not in the space where there's no loyalty or there's drama, there's all this, and you're in a low space, right? But here's the measure of a man. Here's the measure of a woman. Here's the measure of a person, right? Is your attitude high when your altitude is low? Right? We talked about the Zig Ziglar quote a couple of weeks ago when it said your attitude and not your aptitude determine your altitude. Right? So if we flip that on its head, the question now becomes, is your attitude high when your altitude is low? Because when things are going great, it's easy to be enthusiastic. It's easy to feel good. It's easy to be optimistic and be positive and in a great mood. But when things are not that great, when things are low, how do you show up? How do you show up? I had to have this conversation with my son several months back because a couple of years ago, his baseball team at his school was not that good. Right? He would call me every day after the game if I didn't get to go to the game and say, Dad, we got mercy ruled again. And what they mean by mercy ruled is if the other team is leading by more than 15 runs after a certain time in the game, then they just stop it. They're just like, listen, it doesn't make sense for this game to go on any further because they need mercy, right? They need mercy. And so he had this, we would have this conversation after every game and he would say, Dad, we got mercy ruled. Dad, we got mercy ruled. We got mercy ruled again. And the lesson that I had to share at the time was, okay, how are you going to show up for the next game? Are you going to enter that next game thinking, oh my gosh, here we go again? Or are you going to enter that game as a leader? Are you going to enter that game with the attitude that says, hey, I'm giving you everything that I got, and today just might be that day. I'm going to come in and I'm going to show up at my best. And that's how we've got to view life, right? We don't have any control. We don't have as much control as we would like over the situations and the circumstances that happen to us. We do have every bit of control over our attitude. We have control over how we choose to be and how we choose to show up. Check this out. Character is how you show up when no one else sees a reason to be excited. Man, you're going through this season and you're being mercy ruled. You're going through this season and you're losing every game. You're going through this season and your boss is being tough on you. You're going through something crazy and it seems like every project you take on is a failure. There's an obstacle. There are things blocking your way. How do you show up when no one else is excited? Character is how you show up when no one else sees a reason to be excited. That's it. That's the thing. Angela Duckworth says enthusiasm is common. Endurance is rare. Enthusiasm is common. Endurance is rare. It's easy to get excited in the beginning. It's easy to get excited during that honeymoon phase. It's easy for everybody to pat you on the back, or it's easy to feel good when things are going well. But when it hits the fan, and when it's rough, and when it's rocky, and when you're in the midst of the storm, how does your attitude show up? Is your attitude high when your altitude is low? And here's the thing, and here's why I hit on this, and here's why I encourage you to take a look at this regularly, because how you show up affects how others around you show up. How you show up affects how others around you show up. And if you consistently show up when no one else is excited to show up, if you consistently show up when the chips are down and the team isn't winning and you're getting mercy ruled and things are not as exciting as they may need to be, this is the stuff that not only creates leaders, this is this stuff that not only allows people to want to be around you, but this is the stuff that builds character. Because guess what? Later, when it gets tougher, you are going to have a blueprint for making it through that challenge. You're going to have a blueprint for making it through the pain. You're going to have a framework for how you can show up and how you can be a positive light, how you can be a positive influence. Because there's some of us that are lights in the world, right? I love Marianne Anderson's quote. It's on my wall here, and I'm turning to read it. And it says, we are all meant to shine, right? We were born to make manifest the glory of God that's within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others, right? So you've got to embrace your light. You've got to embrace the grit and the resilience that's built into you. You've got to embrace that, because it's not just for the times. Your joy and your attitude is not just for the times of good. It's not just for the times of happy and high. That's easy. It's how you show up over and over and over again, even when no one else is excited or long after the enthusiasm has left. I want to encourage you to show up this week. Show up this week, no matter what's happening in your space. I want you to remember this message this morning, and I want you to embrace it. Because when you embrace it, it's going to make a difference in the life of somebody else. I heard this the other day and I love it. And here's a statement. Your story is somebody else's survival guide. Yeah. And how you show up shows somebody else that they can make it too. All right, y'all. Listen, I will see you on the next Monday morning. Get up and go. Make sure that you share this with somebody. Make sure that you tell somebody that you found gold in them there hills. Make sure that you tell somebody that you found value in the Monday morning Get Up. 15 minutes of power, 15 minutes of elevation, inspiration, and motivation designed to move you higher in your week. Hey, y'all, I'm Robert Kennedy III, RK3. I'll see ya next week, Monday. Peace, 8 a.m.